Everyone. This video I have shooted with Notion Dad to know how he making money out of Notion and building a product using a Notion. So let's start. Yeah, so you do like podcasting or stuff. I'm just asking due to your mic and all.
Oh yeah, so I was before COVID happened, I was doing like a video game music podcast. Um, so I've set the mic up ready for that, and now obviously when COVID did happen, there's more Zoom meetings like this. So I've set up the camera nicely and got this going, so then I can just turn on my PC and ready to go.
Yeah. So, can you talk a bit more about that? Video game related podcast. Is it like review sort of, or you talk about that? What exactly? What is the name of that podcast?
Yeah.
I will definitely
So
have to check out.
I stopped it quite a while. I think got 39 episodes in. It's called Composer Cast, and it was meant to be about looking at video game music, so doing video game music reviews and talking to composers and people in that world. And then it sort of became something a little bit different, and so I got a friend on a co-host, and it ended up us talking about virtual reality a lot. So it kind of moved into something else, and then I became a dad, and it just got way too busy, and so I put it on hold for now. So 39 episodes in, and yeah, put it on hold.
Okay, so now will be a season 2.
Yeah, I think there'll be a season 2. I think once stuff settles down a bit, and I'll pick it back up. But now I'm trying to do this Notion stuff instead, and sort of do music on the side just as a hobby.
So let me tell you, before coming into Notion, so are you a tech developer or like what?
Yeah, I do some development, Python development. So I use Twilio and build SMS and telephone services as my day job, basically.
Okay,
so got a bit of Python development there.
Okay. Yeah, great. So like how you got into the Notion building templates and all?
Yeah, so it started with, it was in my day job actually. So we were using Jira for all the project management. I don't know if you've come across Jira.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like this, it's the standard, people use it. And so we went, okay, we'll use it. So using Jira and Confluence. And I was like the one person who was in charge of everything, like the workflows and all the back end stuff. And it was complicated. And so every time they wanted to add in just a new little thing, I'd have to go and find the settings. And it was like 3 different settings, and it was all over the place. And I got a bit fed up, and I went, right, I want to look for something else. So I went and had a search, and I found Notion. I thought, oh, this is cool. So what I did was ended up replicating like our workflow on Jira inside Notion, because I've been using it a little bit for personal stuff, and I saw that you could do a lot with it. So replicated Jira inside Notion. So you've got like, all your projects, all your tasks, everything that's to do, done, and you assign it to the right person. And then as a wiki, it worked super well. Like it was really good at being a wiki. So I could get rid of Confluence then as well. So I moved everyone in the company off of Jira, off of Confluence, and put them all on Notion.
You're building a template in a part-time, or you're planning to like have in a future full-time role, or completely into the, or you will explore more other no-code tools and all?
Yeah, so I think I'm still just trying to find my way. So the Notion consultancy and building and template stuff is all quite new to me still. I only started a Twitter a few weeks ago for it, for Notion Dad. And yeah, I think I want to eventually, I don't want to be in a like 9 to 5. So I've been doing a 9 to 5 for 7-8 years now. And that's enough. That's enough 9 to 5. And then I realized like there's all these people building things on top of Notion, and not just making templates, but like helping people. So you can go into a business and do consultancy and redesign their workspace and get paid for it, and get paid for doing something you really enjoy. So that's what I'm aiming for. And I think it was about 2 or 3 days ago, I got my first Notion consultancy gig, which is really cool. So helping somebody redesign their workspace and set up the workflow and projects and everything. So yeah, it's beginning, which is cool.
Yeah, definitely. And so how you're like planning, now come to the process of like building a no-code templates and all. So from outside point of view, when I see any Notion template builder, or so my first like curiosity is like how they find the idea. Are they actually solving their own problem? Like in your case, you started from that problem. But it is good you are starting from on your problem. But for the making money, you need constant ideas, and that a lot of people are asking for it. So, for example, if you are building a habit planner, so there's a lot of audiences there. Okay, who is purchasing your template? So, how you figure out that idea and then convert into the Notion template? How it is basically like?
Come up with the ideas. Oh, I've only got 4 or 5 templates that are like public available to purchase, and those were all meeting my own needs really. So one of them is the Jira replacement, because I thought, well, people might be like me, they don't like using Jira, so I made a template on Notion for that, and a walkthrough for all of that. And then another one, my most niche one, I think, is my Wim Hof breathing template. So I don't know if you've ever heard of Wim Hof. He's nicknamed the Ice. All these world records for, you know, like being in the cold and swimming under ice for the longest distance, all that kind of stuff. And he's got an app, and it kind of teaches you some power breathing, all that kind of stuff, like, and breath retention. But with the app, you'll be paying either like a subscription or paying for the app. And I used it for a bit, and I thought, well, I don't really want to pay for the app just to log how long I can hold my breath. So again, I replicated that inside Notion. So for me, my templates have all been, what do I need? I'll build it. Other people might need it too, which they have seemed to, which have been good. And then I also help people with their templates. So ones that I can't be bothered to build myself, or I don't have the time to build myself, someone else will be building their one. Like I help somebody with a games night template. So they play like whatever board games with their friends, and they want to track how many times the person won, whose house it was at. And so I've been helping people like build their own templates like that as well on the side.
How you basically learn? How you is it like retry and retry and retry, or you follow a particular videos, particular online resources, or how basically your learning basically path?
Yeah, I don't think there was any path. I think it started off with Notion, and they've got a bunch of just good tutorials on how to use all the blocks.
So one more thing. So how you basically learn it? How you is it like retry and retry and retry, or you follow a particular videos, particular online resources, or how basically you're learning basically?
People, I think, online who are like the go-to people, which I'm not going to be able to remember the names, but I think, well, one person who's really good, Red Gregory. So they've got a lot of good stuff on there, and they do really good YouTube videos. So I go to them quite a lot for their more interesting, complicated formulas. So one of the ones that they had was how to show a progress bar inside Notion. So say you've got like, you're doing 10 items, 10 tickets of work. You've done 9 of them, you've got 1 left. So you've done 90% of the work, how to show 90% on like a nice little progress bar.
Yeah.
So I went to them for that. But yeah, everything else, it's more just playing around and then just Googling really. And it's just when you hit a roadblock. But everything is so, I feel like Notion's so kind of intuitive. Everything's a block.
Yeah.
So this is what that block does. And does it suit your needs? Yes. Okay, use that. No. Okay, use something else. Go and Google and say, how can I make a progress bar? Or how can I do this?
Is there any programming language that you use for example, in that your case also, you want to show a progress bar? So in building a progress bar, is there any particular programming, or is it just a like drag and drop thing, or like what exactly?
No, it's the formula property in Notion.
Formula property.
So yeah, so that's one of the most interesting parts of Notion is the formulas. So if something's in a table, you take the formula, and then you can do lots of crazy stuff with it, like work out how many days your birthday, or you can make a progress bar, or you can show a little emoji if a certain date is reached or something. So there's lots of interesting things with the formula bar. But I think, yeah, the code for the progress bar is quite a long one. Like it's a big, long list of stuff on the progress bar. Yeah, well, I can share my screen if you wanted to have a look at it.
Yeah,
show you. Cool. There we go. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Awesome. You can see all my number of tabs up there as well. So this is something that's in my template. This is epics. So epics are like big pieces of work. And inside an epic, you put lots of other tickets. So you can see there's lots of tickets in here that are all linked to this epic, and they're all in a separate database. And then you've got the number of hours allocated. So for every ticket, it has a certain number of hours for it. And then the number of hours completed. So when a ticket is completed, it knows, okay, that's done. So you can see at the moment, 11 hours are completed out of the 11 hours allocated. So you get a nice little tick. But if I go into one of these tickets, let's open up this one, and I change this back to in progress, then this ticket had an estimated hours of 0.5 hours, so half an hour. So now you can see I've only done 10.5 hours out of the 11 hours. So this progress bar changes. So now you get a nice 95%. So if you click on there, this is the formula. So it looks crazy, but it's actually just, it's just not formatted very nicely. That's the only thing. I don't know if I open up in Sublime. No, so yeah, it's just not formatted very nice. Basically, what it's saying is, if the hours completed property divided by the hours allocated property is equal to 0, then give it a cross. And then basically you just do a bit more after that. So if the hours completed is smaller than the hours allocated, if it's 0.1, you give it one little thing. So it's doing it in like 10% increments.
Yeah.
So you've got one little purple square there, 2 there, 3 there. So the reason it looks complicated is just because everything's like embedded into one thing.
Yeah.
And then if it's equal to 1, so if the
done.
hours allocated, hours completed divided by the hours allocated, so if 11 divided by 11 is equal to 1, which it is, then you just give it a nice big green tick. Yeah, I can send that over to you if you wanted to have a look at that. But that is how it works. I'll make a note. Yeah, I'll make a note to send that over to you. I'll keep that open there, and then you get that, and that gives you either a tick or whatever you fancy. So if I move this one again to not started, now it goes down to 91%. And then moving back over to completed, just because this is my live template, so I'll just pop them back over to completed. And there we go. Everything's completed. You get a nice green tick.
So it's more like time management or sprint management.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah, this is, so it is sprint management. So I've actually got these in sprints here.
Okay.
So I create different sprints. You add the tickets to the sprints, and you can see how many hours each sprint, so each week would have. So if you've got a whole team of people, or even if you're just doing it yourself, you've got 37 hours in the week. Okay, you've only got 9 hours worth of tickets in there. You can have some more tickets. You can do some more work. But yeah, so that's sort of an overview of my team workflow kind of thing, and that's how the formula works.
So, like being a developer, how you find it? Okay, it will help you overly, or is it okay if you don't have any programming language, any development experience?
Yeah, you don't need any development experience at all. I think for Notion, it's very much the only tricky bit is that bit that I showed you there, the formulas.
Yeah, formulas.
But again, when you're typing out the formula, Notion explains how to do it all. It says if, so if you click the if bit, it tells you exactly what the if bit does. And if you click that property, it tells you exactly what that one does. So you don't need any development experience at all. Most of Notion is just, here's the information, move it around, make it look nice, and make like a nice workflow, however you want to work. Yeah, no development experience, no need to code, none of that.
So how's your template distribution model works basically? Like what channel you use to distribute your templates, and like.
Yeah, well, this is something I need to work on a lot more. So, like I said, I only recently started the Twitter. For me, that seems to be the best place. That's where I'm getting most of my traffic from. But I've also got, so Twitter, Instagram. I find Instagram a bit tricky because you have to think of what to post and it takes a lot more effort. Facebook groups are a really good place to share your stuff. Okay. So there's a Facebook group called Notion Made Simple. So there's lots of people sharing templates in there, and everyone's really good in there. And then the other, I think people use Reddit. I haven't tried Reddit myself. Every time I go on there, it just scares me too much. So I don't use Reddit.
You have to find
And
some
then
nice subreddit.
yeah, well, there is
One
a
or two,
Notion
then
one. I
yeah.
could join it, but it's I'm not into Reddit particularly. But lots of people have had success on there. And apart from that, I've got the website up, and then people are sort of finding stuff just naturally through Google searches, because Notion's still quite a niche thing. So if you have a website about Notion, then there's not that many websites about it. So quite a few people are finding it through there, which is good. So I think I'm getting 1.5 to 2,000 visitors a month at the moment,
It's pretty good.
which is okay, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and are you handling all this marketing, or like you're planning to come on board some person who is handle marketing, or like?
Yeah, so I am taking a couple of courses at the moment to kind of do this myself. So I'm taking one by a guy called Joy with Jace, and his courses are about basically how to interact on camera and how to be more confident on camera, how to set it up, how to do the lighting and all of that, which I haven't actually turned on my lighting, but if I did, then you get a bit more lighting there, but it's too bright at the moment.
Yeah.
But how to do lighting, how to do all that stuff. And then I'm doing another course called Build Once, Sell Twice. So that is kind of going to give me the framework of what I want to do. Like I want to build the templates, and not just Notion, like I will move into other stuff.
Yeah.
But build the templates, and then how to market them, how to sell them, how to productize your knowledge, how to create a course out of your knowledge as well. So that's something I'm looking into, on creating a Notion course or a productivity course, something around there. So probably do it myself until I can't, until I run out of time or something.
Time.
Yeah.
So is it like you have any roadmap of like converting this part-time into full-time?
A very vague roadmap. Like it would be good to do. It's what I want to do, but I don't have a goal of like next year by 12 months I want to have this done. I think I'm just going to do it naturally and
Go with the
just
flow.
keep on doing it. Yeah, just get some. I think talking to people is the main thing. Relationships, it's all about meeting new people and talking to them, and then you find out, oh, this person's really cool to work with. Oh, they need some help with Notion. Cool, let's do that. Yeah, so my marketing is at the moment very organic. It's not very markety.
I think it is a good marketing, that sort of organic marketing, so that you can connect with the people and they recommend you genuinely leads and all, and you will love like you are already interacting with them, and then they present you work. Then that's also awesome. It builds your relationship with them as a stronger level.
Yeah, and then they recommend you to other people, and they're like, "Oh, I enjoyed working with this guy. He can do your Notion stuff," and then sort of go from there. Yeah.
Okay, one was interestingly, you name your Twitter account with the Notion Dad.
Yes.
Is there any particular reason why you put a or is a catchy title you find it?
Yeah, it's because when I started it, I started it because I'd just become a dad. So my daughter's 6 months old now, and thank you. And I was just trying to think of like, oh, Notion, okay, and I'm a dad. Oh, I'll be the Notion dad. Cool. And I just put them together. Because I started it really because I want to get out of the 9 to 5. I want to be able to spend time with my daughter. I don't want to have to go to the office every day. I don't like the idea of going to an office to go work and then I come home and my daughter's already asleep. So I didn't want to do that. So I want to be able to work from home, which I have been in the pandemic, but that's starting to go back to the office now. So yeah, I started it because I want to play with Notion and I want to be a dad and play with my daughter. So it's quite the name might have to evolve when I move past Notion and onto something else.
Yeah.
But or it might stay. I don't know. And a name's just a name, isn't it?
Yeah. And one would be like what type of audience purchase the Notion template, and people purchase template for their personal use or their commercial use or daily activity. What type of audience basically purchase it?
I'm not really sure about the actual audience. I guess it's just whoever's going to use the template. I think so. Out of the ones I've got, that one that I showed you there, obviously that's very business oriented. So that's for like small to medium businesses, 15 to 50 people sort of things. to use that template. So that one's my business one. And then the others, what I'm trying to do, I think I'm going to go, the others are very personal. Like it's the breathing tracker. There's a podcast management template on there as well. So you can manage all your podcast bits and all your marketing on there. So it's a little bit all over the place at the moment. But I think what I want to do is I want to focus more on maybe the family stuff, because as my daughter grows up, there's going to be new challenges. It's going to be like how to track, your to-do list, how to track all the chores that she has to do, that sort of thing. So, okay, dad does the chore today, and then tomorrow the daughter does the chore, and then mum does the chore that other day. So those sorts of things, I can see them coming up quite a bit. And then the other part of it is music. So I'm a musician, like I have been for years. I was teaching guitar kind of almost full time, like 10 years ago, and I've slowly died it out now. But I think there's quite a big gap there for, especially in the video game music world and sound design, there's quite a big gap there for people planning their own work in a professional setting. So like sound designers they need to obviously create all the sounds, or composers, they need to create all the sounds or music for the game. And they need some way to be able to keep track of all this. So the game company might have some, system, some way to do it all, but you might not like that system. So there's quite a few people who I think would be interested in having their own personal space. Here are all my sounds, everything's tagged nicely. I know what project I'm working on. I think that would be quite interesting. So I want to kind of focus on those two things. Yeah, music with the video game kind of stuff, music and family templates, I think will be my focuses from now on.
Okay, one more thing. So basically, how you figure out the pricing of the Nocode template. So for example, I don't know. So basically, for example, you that built that sprint bug tracking template sort of, or a sprint management template, I would say. How you basically price? Is it like something trial and error, or you already say, okay, what pricing other developer have, other creator have? Then you feel okay, this is the pricing. It is really working. Then I should put that pricing. How the process? Is it any?
It's there's different ways of doing it, but for me, it's trial and error. So my personal templates are all pay what you want or pay what you can, and then the professional one, I've tried lots of different prices with that basically. So I put it up like it could be £47, but then you move it down to £27, and then you're like, oh, some people have bought it at that. So when it's at that price, then you move it back up again, and you go up a bit more. So it's just trying to find the balance, find the price where people are willing to pay for it. Obviously, you don't want to be overcharging people or undercharging people. So it's also about what value are you giving them. So with that template, you look at how much time and effort it would take to either build that themselves or build that equivalent inside Jira and set all that up for their team. So so you're looking at maybe the hours and the money and the value that you're saving them there, and then price it accordingly. So you could set your template at £99. Like if that's how much value you think you're delivering, that would be quite a hard one to sell because there aren't many templates at that price at the moment. But I think as more people come on board, then there'll be a lot more value added in templates. People will get used to templates being higher price. It's at the moment, quite a lot of the templates everything's free. So if you put up like a template that's 20 quid, that's quite expensive in the current market. So it's a range of all of that put together really. And then you can
put more like trial sort of thing. Okay, you run some sale. Okay, this price. Okay, how many people have purchased it, and then
and then you can put sale prices on as well. So Gumroad is really good at you can say here's a code and put 50% off, and then you can share that and go, hey, if you download it today, use this code, you'll get 50% off.
So you're also selling all the template through Gumroad or directly with the website?
It's all through Gumroad.
Okay.
Yeah, just because it's super easy, easy to set up, and they provide the ability to either share files, so you can share your PDF, or you can just redirect them to a link. So the public Notion page link, you can just redirect them to there when they pay. So yeah, Gumroad's really easy to manage all of your stuff.
And you don't have to manage the cross-country transaction and all.
Yeah, none of that. Gumroad just does it all for you.
Gumroad take how much charge? Gumroad take?
Oh, I'm not sure actually. I'd have to look. Gumroad. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look that up. Let's see. Gumroad percentage. See if that comes up with anything. 5, or maybe 5%. Gumroad fees.
8.5.
If you're using Gumroad fees a bit. Oh, it says 18.5%. Okay, so that's pretty high.
8.5.
Yeah, so
only 8.5, not 18.
8.5. Gumroad's fees. There are two. Oh, there's a free account and a premium account.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 8.5. There you go. 8.5 plus 30 cents.
For I think payment for particular for payment. But for the
Yeah.
premium one, then if you pay for the like $10 per month, then it comes down to the 3.5 plus
Yeah, 3. Yeah.
30 cents.
Yeah. So it all depends how much money you're making on there. So for me, just keep the free account for now, and then if it starts getting bigger or anything like that, then have a look at getting premium maybe, or moving on to a different platform. I mean, there's lots of other ways to sell, aren't there?
Yeah, there's a lot of.
Yeah.
But I think Gumroad provide that like if I am from India, I need to purchase that we can purchase it, and Gumroad will handle the inter-country payment system and all. But
I
then
think so,
you
yeah.
have option for the PayPal. Then you have to put your directly PayPal and all. Then you have
Yeah.
to manage manually.
Yeah.
And also Gumroad provides some distribution also. It provides already there's a lot of audience who purchase from the Gumroad, so they directly can go and purchase.
Yeah, and it's like a known place to purchase things from now. So if you've got your things on Gumroad, people know, okay, I'm happy spending money on this website. I know it's secure. Whereas if you just did it on your own website, you go, oh, I don't know about spending money on here on somebody's website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apart from Notion, are you trying any other no-code tools?
So yeah, I use a bunch of no-code stuff. Well, like Integromat and Zapier, I use them quite a lot, especially working out some logic things. And I want to try out. So Integromat and Zapier I use partly for automating Notion, but also in my day job, I use them for connecting databases with other databases or connecting Twilio with something else that it needs to do, and then you log everything to a spreadsheet somewhere. So I use those quite a lot, which are, if you had to code all of that, that would take you ages.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm looking at, there's a platform called ClickUp. That's the one that I'm looking into at the moment, because Notion, what I found, it can be too flexible at times. So if you're working by yourself, it's perfect. But if you're working in a team of 15, 20 people, the permissions aren't very good. So basically anybody can edit a page. You can either comment on a page or view it, or you can be an editor. And if you're an editor, you could edit everything. So you can break everything, basically. So if you've got 20 people in there and one of them doesn't quite know what they're doing, then they move something or they change something, then it's broken for everybody. So I'm having a look at something called ClickUp, which does the project management that I've built in Notion. It does that, but it also has stats around it and reports. So you can see how many points people did in that sprint, and you can see, the burn up and all of that kind of the proper stuff that Jira would show you as well. So that's what I want to look at the moment. Yeah, I think that's probably about it at the moment.
So how you think?
Wanna...
What do you think about that no-code tools and no-code industry? I would say there's a lot of tools are out there, and it is not easy to like pick anyone, or you have to try anyone and figure out if it is solving a problem or not. Then jump. And there's I think daily 1 or 2 product launches. How you like what your perspective about the no-code industry? Is it going to sustainable, or is it just a like initial boom?
No, I think it's going to be very sustainable. I think so. I come from an IVR, so telephone service background, and 10 years ago you were having to code all of this yourself, but now you've got Twilio Studio, So instead of writing, like I write everything in Python, but if I want to make a quick demo for a client, I'll use Twilio Studio. Because everything in there is just drag and drop, and it's got all the functionality you need for some basic stuff. So Amazon Connect, they've got the same sort of thing, so you can sort of make no-code telephone services in there as well. So I think it will be huge, because if you're a company or you're a council in England or whatever, and instead of hiring 10 developers to work on this thing, you can hire one person, and they could be in India, they could be anywhere. You can hire one person who does some no-code stuff and say, oh, can you make me a telephone service that connects to these 10 agents and has some hold music? And they go, yeah, easy, done. And one person can do that now. You don't need all these developers. I think there'll still be definitely still a place for the developers, partly because somebody has to write all the code for the no-code stuff. But also, if you want to get into more complicated stuff, the no-code stuff still doesn't quite cut it. Like when it comes to connecting to databases, that's a big one. You need to know how to connect to it, how to manage the database, and how to not break everything. So, but yeah, I think I saw on Twitter maybe today or yesterday, it was someone describing the no-code like argument, as it were, the same way like musicians would describe people using FL Studio or whatever or digital workstations on their computer. And it's like, no, you should be playing music. Or like when synthesizers came along, it's like, no, you should be playing real instruments. You should be playing a real guitar, not these silly keyboard synthesizers. And now we realize that's just a silly argument. It's guitars are cool, synthesizers are cool, and it's all creativity, it's all music. So I think that's the same with no code. It's developers might go, well, no code stuff, it's rubbish, you can't do what you want with it. But it's that same argument. It's like the no-code people come in, can be super creative, build what they want to build, and it will just build into its own thing.
Yeah, their audience and all.
Yeah, and it opens it up to everyone, so everyone has more of a chance.
That's it. Like basically from my side, I don't have like much. If you have anything or you want to share something else, you can.
Yeah, no, I think, can I promote my Twitter, my website?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so my Twitter is @NotionDad, and my website is just notiondad.com.
I will put all the links in the description also in that.
That'd be amazing.
In the video also.
Cool. But I think that's everything from me. I'm all good.
Yeah. Thank you very much for like coming and giving me your time and talking to about the in depth about the Notion and how like anyone can build a template and all.
Yeah, that's great. I'm always happy to talk about Notion. I think my wife is fed up of me talking about Notion. So it's good to speak to someone else about it.
Great. Okay. Bye-bye.
Lovely. All right. Nice to speak to you.
Yeah.
See you. Bye.